My name is Lillian Susan Ogden, but everyone called me Lilly. I'm the grandmother of Ruth Hicks. I was born in New Jersey, October 20, 1864. I had 3 older sisters when I was born, and we lived just a mile from the Atlantic Ocean. My parents were William Ogden and Deborah Stites. My father was a veteran of the Civil War and served in the 25th New Jersey Infantry. In 1869, my father decided to pack up the family and move to Kansas. We went by wagon train with 3 friends and their families and one of my cousins, William. That year, the last spike was driven connecting the Union Pacific and Central Pacific Railroads, which opened the West. We got to Kansas in November and came to Junction City on November 5th. It was here that I saw my first Indian. They didn't appear to be hostile and did nothing more than beg or steal all they could get. We lived in Junction City for a year. One day, we came across an Indian tribe traveling to Nebraska to hunt. They had camped a mile east of the city, and we were curious of them. Father and mother took me and my younger sister Bessie to meet them. When they saw her, the Indians wanted my younger sister. They liked her pretty blonde curls, and she was light-skinned. They took no interest in me, however, because I was too dark and skinny. They tried to trade father for her by offering him strings of beads and belts. He of course told them no, but I was afraid they would try to take her anyway. Father got 160 acres in Clay County, and he built a house on the land. He moved us out there on December 12, 1870. All I could see was prairie. Our closest neighbors were the Simpsons, who lived 11 miles away. They would become Ruth Hicks' great-grandparents, who were George Simpson and Nancy Stoker. Their daughter Rosa would marry Ernest Rand. My sister Ariella was born the month of December. Just 9 days after moving to the farm, my little brother died of typhoid fever. My cousin William brought his coffin from Junction City on horseback, and we buried him in the front yard. An old bachelor named Gil preached the sermon in our home because there was no preacher in the area. In 1872, a girl named Hattie came to live with us. We had warm winters and very hot summers. We children went barefoot when it first got warm in the spring until it frosted in the winter. One winter, me and Bessie had to go in our stockings because we didn't have shoes. I remember that on 4th of July, we walked 3 miles to a Sunday school picnic on Mall Creek. My father was a carpenter and built the Olive Hill schoolhouse. It was a July afternoon in 1874. Me, my father and mother were sitting in the shade on the east side of the house when it began to rain grasshoppers. They blocked out the sun. We had to run inside and close all of the doors and windows, even though it was so hot. It sounded like a heavy rainstorm. Every time we tried to crack a window or door for air, they would fly in. They would even bite us if we tried to go outside. It lasted 24 hours straight, and when they were done, they had eaten everything. Every crop, every tree, even the saddles of the horses. In 1874, there were about 20 children in the area and no school. Our home consisted of 2 rooms, an attic, and a basement, and we converted one of the rooms into a schoolroom. We moved into the dirt floor basement. My sister, Laura, became a teacher at a salary of $15 per month. The school continued for 3 more years, teaching not only all of the area children, but 4 of the Ogden children. In 1875, Father bought his first lumber wagon. We were all so proud. After that, things began to look up for us. The Germans came to Clay County in August of that year, and the German church was built just a mile from our farm. We had lots of neighbors by then. I started going to school at Olive Hill. I met a man named Frank Berrier who had come to live in the area from Illinois. We married in Clay Center in October 1882. I continued to help mother raise the younger children. I rocked them to sleep and washed their diapers. The following year, I had my son Ernest. I was 18 at the time. I had 6 more children after him. Myrtle, Bessie, Lillian, Mildred, and twins William and Wilma. Around 1887, the first real drought came. We had never had to farm land under these conditions, and our neighbors began to head back east in covered wagons. Some of the wagons bore the slogan, "In God we trusted, in Kansas we busted." We wore black dresses during the drought because it was hard to come by water to launder our clothing, so we wore black in hopes to cover stained clothing. I loved to go to the house of God whenever services were held. I became a Sunday school superintendent and taught Sunday school classes. Frank died of cancer on March 10, 1920 when I was 56. Following his passing, I moved to Clay Center. I later moved to Broughton. I preferred to live alone and enjoyed the privacy and independence of such a life. The Olive Hill school my father built remained operational continuously for 76 years.